Hello, and thanks for joining me. You're watching Inside Cottonwood. I am Cottonwood's Mayor, Tim Elinsky. With me today are Damien and Ann Browning from Steps to Recovery. Thanks to both of you for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and I just wanted to talk briefly about what Steps to Recovery is. But before we do that, I'd like to just get a little bit of personal information about both of you. So if we could, we'll start with Damien.
Okay. Well, I'm a father of three. I've been in the Verde Valley since '92, and I was in heavy drug addiction for 19 years of my life. I was a Mason for about 14.
Okay.
And my life was very miserable, and I actually went to prison for some years and changed my life around. So I have been out of prison since 2008. It's coming up on 10 years, and I haven't gotten in trouble, and I'm actually trying to give back to the community and trying to learn how to be a father, learn how to be a husband, and learn how to be a friend, and just trying to do good things, man, and help people out and give them hope that you can recover and you can get out of addiction, because it's a nasty place.
All right.
It's very real. And
you have recently married Ann Browning, isn't that correct?
I have, yeah. Yeah, we met about 6 years ago, and I think we've been married coming up on 3 years. And she's wonderful, and she's totally different. Like, you know, she's an independent woman. She's totally different than what I'm used to, but I'm very grateful. She has the same values as me. We actually get along very well.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on your 3 years. That's great.
Thank you.
So, Ann, your turn. Tell us just a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, I actually was born and raised in Missouri.
Okay.
Moved out here at the age of 18. And I myself have 2 children. They were born right here in the Verde Valley. One still lives here. He served 10 years in the military and just came back a few years ago. And the other one is raised in a family in Oregon. Good. So.
Very good.
Other than that, I've had most of what I dove into was here in the Valley as a young adult, and it's almost 26 years ago now. It's been 25 years since, you know, I got into recovery. Okay. And found a new way to live. Good.
So you both co-own a 501c3 Steps to Recovery, is that right?
Steps to Recovery Homes, yes.
Yes.
Tell me what Steps to Recovery Homes is all about. Go ahead, Ann.
We actually started this a little over almost 4 years ago now. It'll be 4 years in August. And we started it to help folks that were falling through the cracks that we seen were having problems. And what it is actually a substance abuse program that we've kind of put together. So it is actually a living facility, and it's not a recovery center, but it is a place where they live and they eat and they, you know, learn how to live life. We help them through just Amy and myself talking to them, life coaching, job coaching, resume we have all kinds of life coaches that come in and help with our clients. And
yeah, I think we wanted to do something different. You know, we're very passionate about recovery and very passionate about our community, very passionate, and we love the Verde Valley, and we wanted to do something for generations to come and do more than just a basic halfway house or sober living home. So we created a curriculum that was based around our recovery, and we actually have a program. So they come into our house, and there's a lot of things they're doing, and we focus on behavior modifications. We focus on the core issues, not just on the using, but why do you use, and how do we, and then giving them basic life skills to, we're really geared towards long-term recovery. So in order to get long-term recovery and abstinence from substances, they have to learn how to live life and deal with life on life's terms. And when they come in, they're pretty broken, like I was myself. I mean, and I know that. So that's good. Not only can we relate to them, but we're an example-driven program. So everything that they do, we do ourselves. So they see that, you know. But just things like budgeting and priority setting, goal setting, going back to school, there's all kinds of stuff.
Okay. And how do people come to you? How do they find you?
Well, the internet, word of mouth, a lot of it's word of mouth, people that have been through the program. You know, we have over 30 people in the community that have a year clean and sober that are actually living a good life and have been the program's helped them very much. It's very successful, and they tell people about it. Other programs, the internet, Facebook, stuff like that. There's a lot of things like that.
And how far do they travel to come to your recovery homes?
Well, most of our people are local,
Yeah.
but we do get some people from out of town. We've gotten people from Texas, Massachusetts,
Wow.
California.
Okay.
that do usually really good, and then some of them don't do so good, and then they either leave or they stay and start a new life here.
And how many people do you have on average in your homes?
Well, we have just restructured. In October, we got some smaller homes. So right now we hold 8 men and 5 women, and
Okay.
they've been full for the last 4 or 5 months. So,
Okay. And is there a set time duration to your program?
We ask them to commit to 6 months. Now, it is a voluntary program, so it's not like if they come in 3 months from now, they decide this isn't for me, or, I can actually move forward and do something better with my life. I've got an opportunity. It's not like they're committed to that last 3 months. We do ask them to, try and make that commitment with themselves for 6 months.
Okay.
but we have people, the real successful people stay longer.
And we have had them stay longer.
And there's been some successful people that stay less too.
Okay.
It's really about if they take what we're teaching them, they continue to do it even when they leave. So our program is actually 100% successful if they don't have conditions on doing what we're asking them to do.
How do you mean?
So like the things that we ask them to do, if they do them all, then it's 100% successful.
Okay.
But sometimes they don't want to change in certain areas of their life, so then it becomes back to a matter of behaving or having the same perception that got them getting loaded in the first place, trying to avoid life, avoid responsibility, not thinking they have a place in the world or have a purpose.
Right.
There's a lot of variables that go into it.
I would assume that most people who come knocking on your door are ready for recovery. Since it is voluntary, I would hope that they're...
If they come to the Steps to Recovery homes, we're kind of like the last house on the block. I say it a lot, like they're trying everything else first usually.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because they know Ann and I, and the word's out there that we're very serious. We're not going to co-sign anything. We're going to make them do a lot of work. We're very active. They're not going to sit around the house. They're going to get a job. They're going to write a schedule. They're going to go to life coaching. They're going to, they're going to do all these things. So if they come to us, and then usually we work together and we have a interview process where we kind of make sure that they're really willing. And the good thing about it is 90% of our people come with no money, and we really just want willingness. We do make them pay $150 a week, which is really good for everything we provide. We provide cleaning supplies, laundry, soap, linens. It's a really clean place. We take them camping. We take them to equine therapy twice a month, yoga, kayaking. They get bus passes, gym memberships. There's a whole wide. They get clothes from our resale store. There's a whole wide of stuff. And then when they move out, if they go through our program and graduate, we actually help furnish their apartments. And we've done that to a number of people.
Wow, great. So with everything that you do and all the services you provide, what fills your day? On a day-to-day basis, you must be awfully busy.
Calls, trying to fundraise, trying to network, trying to get more people in, doing intakes, I do donation pickups, deliveries. It's working at the store, having my kids call. And I mentor other people that aren't in the home. So I got other people that I talk to on a daily basis. And then there's my recovery, which I'm very involved in. So I call people, just to stay sane and stay centered. So I can be an example.
Sure. So what brought both of you to your current occupation? What is it that you think drove you to this 501c3 and this new venture for you?
I really believe that people are good. I really believe that people are good. And when they get to us, they don't think they're good. They don't think they're good people. So teaching them a little about themselves and about the capabilities that they have that they've forgotten they have. A lot of people come in with no self-confidence, no self-worth, no self. Just they're lost. So being able to help somebody else get to where they can hold that head high again, where they can feel good about themselves. I love helping other people. It's always been a passion of mine ever since I was younger. So,
great.
I do a lot of volunteer service, not only with our organization, but I do volunteer service outside of our organization.
Okay.
Ann's actually volunteered with our organization 30 hours a week since we started and not gotten paid. So she plus she volunteers for a lot of other places, and that's another part of our program is they have to be of service to the community for so many hours a week. So they're out there and they're helping.
Okay.
And one of the reasons we do that, for the first month they work with us at our store. That way we can kind of watch them and talk, you know, kind of guide them how to act around other people. Because, you know, when they're out in addiction, like myself personally, all they are is surrounded by other people in addiction. So, you know, that's what they know. So, and then after they work with us, after the first month, they have to go do 2 hours for another nonprofit in the community for each week. And it helps them start having a purpose. It helps them start being able to talk to people that are normal or clean or not using. You know, it helps them get out of their head.
Right.
There's a lot of benefits. It helps the community. They start giving back from what they've been taken from.
Okay.
And a lot of those people still do community service today, the ones that have come through our program, and those are the ones that I see that have that success going on as they continue to do the same things we've been telling them to do. And so they're still out there putting that effort forth into putting back into the community they're living in.
Right. Excellent.
It's really a cool thing. I mean, and the people, we actually, all of our employees, we have a couple employees now, which is great. Last year, I don't think we had. They've been through the program. You know, they come back and do life coaching, life skills classes. I mean, it's...
Yeah. It must be rewarding.
Another way we help is like going through the program, we have a financial savings plan where if they start putting money in, we start halving that money to a certain extent to what we can. That way when they get out, they have a check. And we try to help them find places, which is really hard. One of the biggest things is the transition period.
Right.
Because when they get out, it's really hard to transition. So that's why, you know, when they stay a little longer, it's actually a lot easier for them.
Right.
And we've had people stay over a year in our program.
Okay. I hate to interrupt you, but we have to take a quick break. So when we get back, we're going to talk about an event that they have coming up called Erase the Stigma. Again, this is Inside Cottonwood. Please join us again. Thanks.
You're gonna take good care of him, right?
Oh, like he was my own dog. Trust me. That's good.
Not my baby!
Sorry.
You don't want your groomer distracted. No one wants you distracted behind the wheel. It only takes 1 second to change your life forever. Distracted driving involves anything that takes your focus off the road.
Stand with me. Be drug-free.
Stand with me. Be drug-free.
To make a difference, we must stand together. Stand with me. Be drug-free. Supporting our families and listening to our teens.
Stand with me, be drug-free.
Stand with me, be drug-free.
We are all one. No one is immune.
Stand with me, be drug-free.
Let's stand together for a healthier community.
Stand with me, be drug-free.
Thanks again for joining us. My name's Tim Alinsky. I'm the mayor of Cottonwood. You're watching Inside Cottonwood. My guests today are Ann and Damian Browning here from Steps to Recovery Homes, and we just got back from a short break. We were talking about some of the folks that have gone through their program and discussing some of the ways that they volunteer with other agencies, and I'm just curious if you can go into a little bit more detail on what other agencies you support through your program.
Well, we support a lot of other agencies. One of the ways we support them is, you know, we have Miracles Happen Resale Store, which will be 2 years in June. Actually, right now, it's June 1st. So.
June 9th, yeah.
June 9th is 2 years being open.
Wow.
So a lot of times we get so many donations that I donate to the mission, I donate to St. Vincent de Paul, I donate to Habitat for Humanity, I donate to the Goodwill, and I donate to Verde Valley Sanctuary's ones.
Okay.
I think they just
Twice
changed
Nice.
it to
Twice
Twice
Nice.
Nice, yeah.
Twice, yeah.
So we're donating. I even donate to a little tiny thrift store in Cottonwood Village. Anywhere that comes in, we try to help out. So we're supporting that way. The people that come through that are in our program, our clients, actually do community service for Habitat. We have people at Habitat right now. We have people at the Humane Society. We've had people before at the Senior Center. We've had people. Let's see, what else? They used to feed people in the park.
Yes. They still do it on Friday nights, but I haven't had anybody in a while.
Catholic Charities, when they had the loft open, there were some of our people that have been through there and helped out there.
Good.
The Rising Hope Food Pantry, they like helping there. So it's like, kind of wherever the mission food down there, they've helped out.
That's great.
Yeah, so there's a lot of opportunities in the valley that we can send them to go do it. One of the stipulations is their time. They're so busy with us, so it's kind of like fitting it in. Right. So a lot of them do it like at Habitat, because Habitat, you can create your own schedule there. So they can say, hey, this is when I can do it.
Okay. Good. You said you have 30 graduates?
Over 30.
Over 30.
Oh, yeah, over 30.
That's tremendous. That's great. And they're still, most of them are here in the Verde Valley yet?
Yeah. Well, my statistics aren't based on our graduates. It's based on who actually has learned something from our program and who's doing good.
Okay.
So our statistics right now are about 40%. They went down a little bit, and then we restructured, so they're going back up.
Okay.
Now we have a couple house managers that are in there. We're putting them through training. They have CPR training. They go through a house manager training thing. We are members of ASRA and NARA. ASRA does house inspections. We have to stand up to certain ethical codes. We have a discharge policy. There's all kinds of stuff.
If you would just explain what ASRA is, what does that acronym stand for?
Arizona Recovery Home Association.
Okay.
It's an organization that was formed to raise the bar on recovery.
Good. Okay.
NARA is Northern Arizona Recovery Association. It's more of a community service-based organization for people in recovery and getting the word out there and helping the community.
Right. You serve on the board, don't you? Do you serve on the board for ASRA?
No.
No, I thought you said you did.
No.
No, excuse me. Okay.
I don't know if I have any more room to do any more work.
Right. Okay, I thought we talked about it earlier. I apologize. You said that transition is difficult for folks graduating from your program. Is that transition into housing here in the area?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
One of the problems that I see is money. Obviously, it's so hard. You got to have first and last, and that's why we do the savings plan. Another problem is a lot of people is to find housing. Right now, it's so hard to even find it.
Right.
And then some of our people, most of our people have felonies. So,
very hard.
I mean, even if it's a DUI, if you're going through property management, not all of them, but most property managements won't even rent to you if you have a felony.
Right. So what do we do about that?
I don't know.
Well, that's what we're getting ready to try and put out there, is erase the stigma.
Right. Right.
There's a stigma in society that says, oh, well, these people are bad, they're always going to be bad. That's not true.
We're looking at, and hopefully, we have visions. Some of our visions, if we can get more community involvement, more people involved, and more people to donate, and more grants, somebody to write grants for us, would be to start a place for women and children, to start some transitional housing. Because we don't believe that 6 months is enough.
Right.
We believe that, after detox or inpatient, come to us and then go to a transitional housing for a few more months. And that way they have a little bit, they still have some time to save up, have some time to what's the word?
Integrate.
Reintegrate into the community.
And a track record, I think, too, to prove to a potential landlord that they can pay their rent.
Yeah,
on
that
time.
I've been at work. Just like, just like getting a loan for a car. They have to have so long at a job. Well, most of them, when they're in addiction, aren't keeping a job. They're mostly homeless. They're staying on somebody's couch, or they've been kicked out, or
Right. Are there any ways you can interact with landlords to erase that stigma, to encourage them to allow your graduates to come into the program?
I think it's happening. We brought on Cheryl. She's our store manager, and we've been going out and going to business again. And I do this like once a year, and talk to them and try to get presentations. And we've been doing presentations for realty groups and stuff like that. So I think slowly but surely we're erasing the stigma. I mean, the addiction is a nasty thing, and it's getting worse, and it's not going away. So people are starting to figure it out. Even people that hire our people, as long as we tell our people to be honest about their past. So when they're on, because really that someone with addiction issues is really, like she was saying, a really good person, very creative, very good workers. I mean, the people that get clean and actually get into recovery, which is an active change of life, right? Actually are great employees. So they actually hold jobs. They actually become managers quick, you know, and create a workforce. It's creating a workforce, because right now I've been going a lot of places and nobody can find workers.
Right.
And the common theme is that, hey, they were getting loaded. They're coming in drunk. They don't want to work.
Sure.
It's crazy. They even raised the minimum wage. You think everybody would be working now, right?
Right, right.
But no, it's
yeah, we are starving for workers here. It's true.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah.
And most of the common thing I'm hearing is about addiction.
Yeah. And you say it's getting worse. Why? Why do you think it's getting worse?
I think it's getting worse because of technology.
Explain that.
Well, I think as a human race, I think we want things faster, we want things more, and we are actually losing our way of what's really important, being connected and our environment and stuff like that. It's all about what we have. Yeah. It's all about money and what you have. And I mean, look at our phones. It's like every year you go through. I mean, I keep getting a new phone. They got a new one. Right. 2 weeks later, they got a new phone. I'm going, what? You know, so actually we're losing what's important. And our kids, I mean, just like my kids, they're on the games all the time. Yeah. It's like, man, you know, so there's a communication breakdown, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. Okay. So they get the stimulation from technology, right? So they go out and they don't really know how to interact in the world. So and then when they're out there, you know, because a lot of times, even for myself, I want that stimulation. So I do it with overworking. Right. I'm busy. Right. And I avoid everything that way. You know.
Interesting. Well, so you don't think it's just a
I actually
Cottonwood
did a paper
problem.
on it at Yavapai Pike College.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah.
It's a nationwide problem.
Nationwide, not just specific to Cottonwood.
No, I think it's the human race. I think we're actually, you know, slowly killing ourselves. You know?
Interesting.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
This is not.
Well, I hope you can help everyone then. You've got a big challenge ahead of you.
There's a big grassroots movement. There is. I mean, everybody's really starting to get. If you look around, there's so many people that are starting to try to reconnect with what's important in life.
That's true.
It's happening.
That's
and
true.
What we're doing is long-term recovery is a grassroots movement here in Verde Valley. We're focusing on the long-term recovery. We're not focusing on just a Band-Aid. You know, this is more than just putting a Band-Aid on their issues.
Okay. Now we touched this briefly, and we've said it a few times, erasing the stigma. So we have to take a quick break, but I want to bring folks back after the break to talk about this stigma and what you mean by that, and to talk about your new event that you've got coming up here at the end of the month. So again, quick break. Please come back and join us for Inside Cottonwood.
You're gonna take good care of him, right?
Oh, like he was my own dog. Trust me. Good.
Not my baby!
Sorry.
You don't want your groomer distracted. No one wants you distracted behind the wheel. It only takes 1 second to change your life forever. Distracted driving involves anything that takes your focus off the road.
Stand with me. Be drug-free.
Stand with me. Be drug-free.
To make a difference, we must stand together. Stand with me. Be drug-free. Supporting our families and listening to our teens.
Stand with me, be drug-free.
Stand with me, be drug-free.
We are all one. No one is immune.
Stand with me, be drug-free.
Let's stand together for a healthier community.
Stand with me, be drug-free.
All right, welcome back. You are watching Inside Cottonwood. My name is Tim Elinsky, Mayor of Cottonwood. With me today, Ann and Damian Browning from Steps to Recovery Homes. And just before we left, we were talking about an event that they've got coming up called Erase the Stigma. And we talked a lot about the stigma during this program. So I want you to, in your own words, just describe what it is that you mean by stigma. Ann, we'll start with you.
Well, you know, I've been faced with it most of my life just because I've been in recovery for 25 years. One thing I do have to say that I found really good for me was the honesty I could put forth, like say I'm going to a new job interview, or I'm trying to get into to maybe a position on a board or something like that, is that I have the honesty to tell them that, you know, I've been in recovery for this long, and the things that I've been doing. One of my jobs, you know, I a lot younger on really wanted to be a paramedic when I grew up, and instead of being a paramedic, I became a drug addict. You know, so when I got out of that, I came back into society, and at the time, my father-in-law at the time, because I'd gotten laid off from a job I'd been at for 3 years, he said, why don't you go back to school to do what you wanted to do? Something I'd talked about. And I was really in fear that I wasn't going to be able to do it because I had a felony. So, long story short, I'm a paramedic today too. You know, I have that cert. And I've worked for fire departments and ambulance companies, hospitals.
But the stigma you felt was that folks wouldn't accept you into their program based on your
and sometimes
felony.
they don't. Sometimes they don't. They look at us as different. You'll never change. I had somebody tell me when I was doing community service one time, oh, once an addict, always an addict. And of course, then I was really young and new in recovery, and I said that's not true. But how much more today I know that because of how much further my life is today. The longer I stay clean, the better my life is. And by me doing what I do, it shows these people that come into our program, they can do that.
Right.
It also shows the public that once an addict, always an addict is not true.
We do recover.
We do recover.
Right.
Well, and you know, it's crazy because the stigma goes really deep, you know, and there is reasons, you know, I mean, people get robbed, you know, people run across people with needles in the arm, I mean, people don't come to work, people neglect their kids, you know, there's this whole thing. So addiction is real and it's nasty, it really is, but people can recover, and when they do, they're usually really good people. But it's just like we were talking about with the jobs, I mean, the jobs, that's what she's talking about, the jobs, the places to rent. I mean, there's all this stuff, you know, that people are, you're an addict and we're not going to have you around, you know. So, but one of the reasons that erase the stigma was in my head for a while, there's stigmas around everything. There really is. But the stigma, this is about the stigma, like she said, about that part of it, but also about that people don't understand what addiction is. So like if we see somebody, if somebody is in a situation or a crisis and they don't know what's going on, we want the community, this event's for the community, we want the community to know what addiction looks like and what mental health looks like. So Erase the Stigma is actually an educational awareness day about addiction and mental health, how they coexist, what they are, and then what to do about them. You know, because instead what happens is if you're walking down the road and you see somebody that's a little crazy or a little off, you walk away from them. You know, you get scared, there's fear, and there should be. But that fear will less. What happens is when you do that and you walk away, you build a wall and you make the addiction worse for that individual because they feel isolated. So if you going down the road and you went to Erase the Stigma and you heard about some of this and you know, oh, there's places to help. When that fear comes up, you go, you know what? I know what this is. This person is going through a crisis of mental health or addiction, and there's help for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then so the more people that have an understanding and awareness of what it is, the more people we can help, and the safer and healthier our communities will be. Because it's huge. Like it will make our community. So this is about the community. This is about people that not necessarily have addiction issues. This is about people that they're going through a family member with an addiction issue, because addiction touches everybody, whether it's your neighbor or somebody you work with or your niece or your aunt. I mean, or your son. You know, we know a lot of people, and I'm going to have somebody there that's going to be talking about losing 2 of her children and what to do about that. You know, what do you do with that?
Great. So that event is on Saturday, June 24th, is that correct?
It is. It's going to be at the Cottonwood Rec Center. It's going to be a free event, and we're going to feed everybody, and we're going to give away free rec center passes. So that way people can actually enjoy the rec center and see what's going on, come in, get something to eat. We'll have 7 keynote speakers, and right now I have 26 booths registered that help with these issues. So there'll be places, so after we speak about the issues, there's going to be resources. Oh, well, this is what you can do. And you can go around and you can get information. That way you know, you have a tool.
So for folks listening at home right now, who do you encourage to show up to this event?
Everybody.
Everybody, the community. It's a community awareness event.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody. We want everybody to come, Hopefully we can feed them all, but
hopefully we can feed them all. Hey!
It'd be a good problem to have if you
the
could.
venue's a little small, but you know, I mean, it's a nice venue. The rec center, I love the rec center, and I want everybody to come and see what the rec center has to offer too.
Sure.
Right, and it's running from 9 a.m. to 2 in the afternoons to morning.
Well, it sounds like a great educational event for the community.
It is.
It is.
Good. Okay. Well, that's the Erase the Stigma event, June 24th.
And then we have some other events coming up too. We have events throughout the year. Our next one's going to be October 7th, which will be an American Roots Festival. And what it is, it's a poker run and it's a concert for sober and clean concert. So,
okay.
You know, people can come that are in recovery and not have to deal with somebody by you that's spilling beer on you or smoking a joint or whatever.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
And it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be at the Collective in Sedona on October 7th, and that'll be a good event too.
Okay. Any other? We have just a couple minutes left. Any other events you want to share with us?
Dinner for Hope is always in March. We have a big fundraiser, Dinner for Hope, and you know, just we're looking for people. We're looking for people to get involved. We need people. We need grant writers. We need volunteers at our store. We need people to come volunteer. We have filing. We have delivery drivers, donation pickups. We need board members.
Okay.
We're looking for people to donate. We're actually part of the Arizona State tax credit, so you can donate and get a 100% tax credit.
How can they get a hold of you to find out?
That was my question.
Oh, call 928-649-0077. That's 928-649-0077. Or go on our website. We have this amazing website.
And what's that?
It's www.steps2recoveryhomes.org.
Very good.
And there's a lot of information on there. There's a lot of, you know, what we're doing.
Okay. And if folks want to support you, they can either donate, right?
They can
It's
donate
tax
on there.
deductible. You're 501c3.
Yeah,
516 East State Route 89A.
Very good.
Oh yeah, and our
Miracles
Happen resale store is right next to Vinny's on the corner of 89A and 6th Street.
Okay.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful store.
Okay, so grab a slice and then go shopping.
And if you do that, you get a discount if you bring a receipt in.
Oh, good. So what are your hours then at Miracles Happen?
9 to 5, Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
We're closed Sundays right now.
Okay. Accepting donations, I'm sure.
Always, and we pick up.
During the day, yep,
So,
and we will pick up.
All right, well, very good. That ends our Inside Cottonwood. Thanks very much to both of you for being here today, and appreciate the public watching. And again, my name is Tim Linsky, Mayor of Cottonwood. With me was Damien and Ann Browning from Steps to Recovery Homes, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.